second time. But, Chris Christie needs to get out. Vivek needs to get out. None of these people have a chance. There's only two candidates who have emerged with double-digit support, and that's Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. And really what we need to recognize is that there are two primaries going on. There's two Republican primaries. There's the primary to challenge Trump, and then there's a primary against Trump for the Republican nomination. And you can't run, if somebody doesn't win that first one, then the second one's over. So we need to have a debate next time with two candidates on the stage, the only two who have a viable path to the nomination. Let them fight it out for the person to challenge Trump. Have a viable path to the nomination. Let them fight it out for the person to challenge Trump, and then let somebody go up against Trump, and then we have a race. Otherwise,
people agreed with him, and you say he's got a great future ahead. So we'll see how he comes back, and if he comes back and decides to run again. But he's still a U.S. Senator. And right now we need some movement on the Hill. So he's still got a big job to do, and we'll see how it goes. But I wish him the best. His family is just beautiful. His mother was wonderful. And really and truly, if you look across the aisle to the other side, that's why I wanted to do Families in Focus. There are a lot of good folk running for president on the right side of the aisle. And so whether they end up going the distance or not, the nation owed. But the guy on the other side, stuck in the basement, not so much.
Speaking of that guy, he's the one.
In front of the camera, what he's projecting is causing people concern.
Yeah. Axelrod also suggested Biden should step aside earlier in the week, Carly.
Yes.
And apparently Biden's not too keen on David Axelrod, according to Jonathan Martin.
Yeah, I wouldn't be if I were Biden either.
Look at this headline, because I can't say this word on air, so we'll just show it to you. It's a word that rhymes with brick, is what Biden calls David Axelrod, according to the Jonathan Martin reporting. You
got it. I see it. I can piece together what letters are in those asterisks.
Yes.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. So David Axelrod's comment, what he's really talking about is time. So time is a great benefit and a great issue for President Biden, because he's saying, maybe the economy can get better over the course of time before the 2024 presidential election, but it's only going to make Biden older, and he is turning 81 a week from today. So it's his birthday next Monday. That's going to be probably a celebration that will be very quietly celebrated by the White House. The other issue that President Biden could have are all the other candidates. RFK Jr., how is that going? Is that going to hurt Trump if he's the candidate, and it's looking like he will be? Will it hurt Biden? Now Jill Stein, Joe Manchin, he's not going to be running for Senate anymore. He's saying that he's going to be doing a listening tour around the country. Could he jump in? So there are a lot of variables here.
And one of those variables, those third-party candidates, there was an interesting poll done this week. It's Stock Data Strategy, and they were pretty good and accurate with the midterms. Politico Playbook wrote about this today. The third-party candidates made it worse for Joe Biden, all of them. So that's an interesting piece of this. Also from that Jonathan Martin piece, Rebecca, is a quote about the economy. He spoke with more than a dozen Democrats. He said the level of despair was striking. And listen to this on Biden's economic message. Perhaps the most overwhelming economic messaging advice I picked up from Democrats was for him to heave Biden economics into the dumpster. Attempting to make voters believe something they don't is folly. Attaching your name to that strategy borders on a masochistic. Harsh words for Biden.
No, I mean, look, buyers know that everything is too expensive. You go into the grocery store, it's too expensive, gas is too expensive, and so the American people know that. So to continue to tell them that the economy is doing great when they are actually, trying to decide where if they're going to take their kids here or there or carpool to save money for gas, they're not buying it, and so it just feels like you're lying to them. The other thing that I would say, in contrast again to the Senator Scott issue, what a contrast. Senator Scott was this vibrant, young, optimistic, America is not in decline, we can do this. And Joe Biden really is kind of the picture of this sort of declining man, sort of in himself. And so it's not a great picture when you have the Chinese and the Russians kind of arguing that the United States is in decline and now it's their time to make a move.
You mean day after tomorrow?
Right.
That's right.
After, when he meets President Xi of China.
Imagine what she thinks when he watches Biden. Yeah. The border crisis so out of control that migrants are now reportedly rejecting the makeshift shelter the city of New York put up for them. Meanwhile, Venezuelan migrants in Chicago reportedly say the situation is so bad they're packing up and heading home.
Oh.
Working with New Day, my VA home loan benefit allowed me to keep my
Not stay here. This is crazy.
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, in Chicago, migrants are reportedly electing to move back to Venezuela rather than stay in the overwhelmed city. Many have been forced to sleep in overcrowded police stations around the street. And with a winter in the Windy City just around the corner, one migrant dad is slamming the lack of resources, saying, quote, "The American dream doesn't exist anymore. There is nothing here for us." Harris, what do you think about this?
Well, I do want to do some deeper homework on how they plan to go back to Venezuela, because if they're going back through the Darien Gap, I think they're lying. No one is going to choose to do that twice, to go back to whatever it was they left that got them here. So are we now flying them back? And is this, are they being King?